Well, this is going to be one of those rare, or maybe firsts. I can't decide which. This is the Weaverage on the Sea in Roseman, California. I'm called a zombie out here because I'm emotionally deprived and sleep deprived, which means I deal with sleep issues and emotional issues because of grief and mental illness and everything else under the skin. So, when I came across one of my favorite areas to do, I decided to try out the YouTube and just slap a link in there. I've noticed that everyone else would say maybe something spiritual or try to understand what's going on with the phrase. And what I'm looking at right now is this. Under a group called Grief Speaks Out, there are people out there who are expressing their pain and their suffering because of the people that they loved a lot. And I hate to say this, but when you start joining up with this group, you're also identifying that you also have the same issue. And I know I do have the same issue here. But my problem is, I don't know what to do about it. How do I answer this person? I'm not going to say the name either. I may have lost my mind for a time, but grief makes everyone crazy. That's true. Losing someone makes you lose yourself. Makes you yearn for the impossible. One more day with a loss, an end to the pain, a cure for the spiritual malaise. It eats you up alive every morning. You wake up alone. Well, for everyone who grieves that heavily, you're still in the honeymoon phase. I know that feeling. I've been there too many times. That's why I've been doing this video library, this channel of YouTube, to get my feelings out, to talk about the stuff I'm going through, in the hopes that maybe it helps me down the road, but it also helps somebody else. This is not the easiest thing to talk about. I mean, I could talk about my life story. I could talk about how I loved my family. I can even show them pictures. If you look in the background at the cabinet that you see, my family. If you happen to look at the Facebook icon, you see my family when they're alive, and that's the black and white picture of them. And the T-shirt I have above. Well, if you don't, what you haven't seen, in that cabinet on the third shelf is where they rest. Every morning, that is a constant reminder that I dare not touch. Because if I happen to touch it, I know it's an emotional trigger and it's going to send me off. You don't think I know about this? Okay, snap on this one. 4 years old, open heart surgery. Died 3 times, came back to life 3 times. Somebody upstairs wanted me up down here. A lot of reasons on that one. Life and death situations happening in my youth. A few accidents here that almost killed me but didn't. No, I'm not indestructible. That's for damn sure. It scared the hell out of me. Seeing too many people dying around me extends from the grandmother, sets off a chain reaction with my mother. I see aunts and uncles, which are siblings to my mother, and it's putting more pressure on her and more confusion on myself because sometimes I feel like I'm not allowed to grieve because she's not grieving. She's depending upon her 2 boys, me and my big brother, to get her through the days, and therefore we can't grieve. And we have other things happening in life. School gets done, get out to the college world and screw that up. Now I got to work my ass off. Everybody's got to work their ass off. Work, 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 work. But we have things being done. Ma's having her business going like crazy, and she thinks she's happy. She's not. She's a miserable woman because she's still losing family and friends. It gets bad enough is when she passes away. Her best friend also passes away. And we had an extended family, my family, and then our dear friend's family. Well, now we're separated. That's a grieving right there. That's a major grieving right there. Losing the mother, man, I loved her like crazy. My own mother, that's okay. Let's just say that one. Go back to college, finish things up. And while in the process of finishing things up, I lose my brother in 2018. COVID knocks its hit. The virus comes in and it says, "Hello, let's screw around with people's lives, shall we?" So 2 years at home, knock it off my damn academic progress. Now I gotta do things online. But I'm already suffering through the grief regarding my brother and my mother, because now I gotta deal with that. But I haven't really given myself allowed for agreement. I had to fight to get a roof over the head and keep it over the head, fight off bed bugs left and right. Whatever life was throwing at me, I was trying to deal. Is this short enough, Cliff Notes? So at this point, I'm an emotional wreck, and I'm getting emotional triggers and the emotional tsunamis, the flood of emotions happening. And this happens like a concussive wave at this point. In dealing with Ma's death, that wave is going like this, and I'm getting flooded and carried on through the years, have the waves getting larger and larger and larger and larger. It just doesn't stop. The feelings get more and more intense, and I'm getting sucked. When I lost my grandmother, decades earlier, that started for my mother. And upon doing all the history of my family through my memories, recollections, I'm seeing how my mother was going downhill as well. To the point where she was committing suicide. Not by taking any or ingesting, but by willing herself, laying in bed and wanting to die. Her mental processes were shutting down. In the last 10 years of her life, it was getting that way. She was losing businesses left and right. She was losing her family left and right. Her siblings. She was losing her clients. Some of their clients were actually best friends. Poof. All Ma had was me and David taking care of her 24/7. And took care of her at various places until she passed away. We didn't take her out to any places. It's just only one home after another, after another, after another. One rental after another, that kind of situation there. So, and it was getting harder and harder with my brother. There's another concussive wave coming in. Maz is already driving me crazy enough as it is, and I have to deal with her death and the feelings. And the waves are going. The waves are going. They're increasing. They're increasing their mass and their volume. And then David already had his emotional issues happening when he got out of the military. Because as soon as he hit the senior age, the medications he was taking and to take care of certain things happening to him were fading out. They weren't affecting him as much. And the energy of damages he'd done to himself was increasing. Now he's got it. After Ma passed away, it's increasing on him a great deal, and I had to take care of him. Hardest damn thing for me to do, but I did it anyway, alone. So with all these missional things happening at this point over here, all these things are happening in life at this point over here, it's like a dog pile after dog pile after dog pile after dog pile. And until I get to the point where I lose my brother, and then I'm slammed again with that one. This time it breaks me. Emotionally, damn near physically, breaks me. I don't know what to do about it. At the beginning, it's a honeymoon stage. Yes, I do cry a little bit. I do have a few sections here and there. I'm still trying to get things taken care of. Let's see, secure the house, secure the roof. Bud bug's gone. The class starts up again. Something to focus my brain on. At least one or two classes at a time. So I'm struggling with that. And then I said about the COVID, which gives me more time for the grieving to set in. More triggers, more triggers, more triggers. More bawling time, more chest heaving, and more pleading to God. Not tell him to stop and leave me alone at this point over here, just for his will to be done. That's about it. So I struggle through. I get back to class after COVID relinquishes itself, and I get over to the campus, going through a lot of changes, too many changes, and I'm like, but I passed the class. I passed my classes in there. I'm going back full. Keep this in mind. The emotional toil this time, this particular summer, the waves have gotten intense. They've already built up a memento at this point over here. They've been bawling and mauling me over left and right. Leaves me depressed in certain sections. If I actually recover quickly enough, maybe I'm functioning better. Trying to take care of a few things in this place, or try to get food in the place. Actually have a menu planned. Maybe have clothes washed. Basic functioning. Or even house cleaning. Before Ma died, that was my job. I focused. I took care of things. I used to work until I got injured on a job and they said, screw it. You try having a tire and fall on your face and let's see how you survived the damn thing. Damn near died. Almost. Just don't recommend it to anybody. But anyway, here I am. Disabled with the back, but with more mental illness than I ever thought possible because the damn thing's multiplying in my head. It's like an infestation of it. The four horsemen, I call it, that never left my brain. Anyway, I think I talked too much about this one. The four horsemen, I call it, is the grief, PTSD, anxiety, and depression. They never left me. They stayed in my life ever since I was a young kid. Decided to continue to party hardy as I got older. Now it's a full-blown party in my head. I don't need it, I don't want it, and I haven't taken any medications. I've had doctors tell me that I had white lab coat syndrome. Frickin' quacks. And I gotta deal with mental health issues with the mental health department of the county. And they still think I got white lab coat syndrome. Mental hacks. I got private insurance. I can't get a hold of any hack. I'm doing real great today. I hope this answers some questions. If it doesn't, let me know. But as for being driven crazy every single day, Let me tell you something about that one. When those things hit me, they're innocuous items that get to me. I've already been triggered too many times. When we're talking about hugging, we're talking about love, we're talking about happy memories, we're talking about family, mostly. My triggers. I can see that on a television. I can see it on a television show. I can see that in real life. My brain's already getting wired already. It's trying to build up the momentum in here. So when I see something innocuous, or even a piece of music, play something about Mandy Patinkin's concert series. He did a medley on Larry King's show when Larry King was still alive on CNN years ago. Must have been about the 2000 mark. Well over 20 years ago. Mandy had a voice, and he was singing, and it was haunting, and it was driving me nuts. It was driving me to the point where I couldn't think. I was crying my eyeballs out. Nothing to do with the family, but it was just a trigger, and it drove me insane. You talk about waking up and losing your family left and right. If I happen to wake up to Mandy Patinkin in the mornings, I know I'm in trouble. If I have any dreams concerning about my family, I know I'm in trouble. But my sleep issues have gotten worse and worse that I don't even remember my dreams anymore. If my family actually decided to visit me, maybe they would have left a better mark on it. And I remember some past dreams when they were like that. But not recently. Anyway, I'll talk at you guys later.